All right. Yes, this is the real intro now. Okay, welcome. All right, quiet down, you crazy kids. Okay, open your ears into page 2 poetry at Cush. The edge of your seats has been very lonely since last week. Each of you in the audience are going to be taken on a journey. Ladies and gentlemen, history is in the making. Every week on this day, poetry of all shapes and forms welcomes itself onto this loving, lovely stage. Every week, hidden talent shows itself, and you, the lucky audience, both in person and on YouTube, play witness to the greatest underground poetry this side of the awesome canyon.
Hot damn!
I am your host and overlord, James Otter. Look at all of you. I am very happy to see you. Currently, page 2 poetry is the only weekly open reading in Eugene, Oregon, and certainly the only one at Cush Cafe in the heart of the Whitaker district. For those of you who are new here, there are some rules you must know. Obviously, I'm James Otter, host and the evil overlord extraordinaire. By stepping onto this stage, you consent to be live streamed onto page 2 Poetry's YouTube. You get 7 minutes. You don't have to use them all. But when the alarm goes off, so too must you. Please silence all cell phones and do not interrupt the performer. This is a welcoming, loving community. So inhale courage and exhale love. With all that said and done, I would like to start us off with a brand spanking new poem. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
There we go. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. All right. Alrighty, Rooney. Okay, here we go. Victory. Hands above your heads. You heard me. You all heard me. Hands above your heads. Spit that piercing out, young man and or lady. I am the officiator of the local yokel law enforcement. Put your gum back in your mouth. Spit it out again. Now put it back in your mouth. Kids today, they don't know what it's like working on the beat. Beating people up is the only perk. That and speeding, doing drugs, getting drunk, kicking doors in, ticketing dipshits, and being a cop. It's truly radical to be a cop. This city is my playground, so better get the fuck off the swings and step away quietly, or else. Trust me, just because I carry a hand cannon doesn't mean I'm not pissed scared of your unpredictable, possibly wizard ass. Half this town is Zards, probably. Fucking magic hippies with their stupid rights. They're always not bathing and complaining in some other language and resisting my wily charms and handcuffs. Put down the devil sticks. In the eyes of my department, lack of deodorant is a terroristic act. I'm not a terrorist. Hippie used to be a variation of the word herpes. Thus we wear gloves when encountering a wild herd of the fuckers. And these streets are filthy with jaywalkers. It's true. I love donuts. I love bacon. And it is not cannibalism if I eat it. Despite popular belief, we officers of your rights violations are not part barnyard savage. Us coppers aren't all guns and tasers. We also use batons and mace and parades full of angry people. It calms them down. Oh, parades, what a riot. Brings me to tears. No, that's just the tear gas. Keep laughing, fat boy. We will see who is laughing when you're behind bars. In the People's Zoo. Step into the car. I will not ask you twice. Don't stick a fork in me. Don't stick a fucking fork in me. I am an electrical socket, and I will make you cry for your mommy. You have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Your kids probably suck compared to my brilliant little bastards. I was a hall monitor once. The best in school, and nobody challenged me. I took out 2 school shooters like they were hotcakes. My kids do the same. Of course, they get a freebie anytime they do anything wrong because they're kids, not criminals. Other kids are criminals. Little fucking cheater, Peter, pumpkin rapists. Fuck, I hate people who aren't cops, or my kids, or my wife, or my mistress. I definitely hate drug dealers because they never pull through. Best part of this job is they don't test my piss or my hair. It's awesome. Sometimes I go on patrol completely wasted. Me and my friends round up some stoners, steal their weed, eat their munchies, and shoot the tires out of their bikes. Bam, bam, bam! Best part is, whenever I get into trouble, I just go on vacation for like a month. Sometimes the military gives us tanks, and oh man, best day ever. I let my oldest fire a round of tear gas into a local squatter's house. I was incredibly proud. I love America. America. This is truly the land of the free, as long as you're a cop. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Our next contestant, he has long, frizzy red hair, and I often refer to him as the Reverend. Come on up here, Andrew. Give it up for Andrew. Gun knowledge. Fucking cops.
After much deliberation, we have a diagnosis. It turns out thoughts are our problem. You smart, addicted creature, thrown about like the unending crashing of waves beneath the skin, eternal babbling of the head, sometimes just to babble, on in habits of doing so, default, scrutinizing the harms and benefits of each thing. Default, evaluating all by comparison. Default, approximating definitions which are approximating definitions. As we beg and tug from each word for the original intention, beneath the serendipitous cacophony of holy and unholy thoughts bequeathed to us in the evolution of our commonly adapted psychology, whereby we measure the ocean with the horizon. So much, the only differences between debates in philosophy and religion and science is the kinds of certainty in which they depict their inherited delusion. When instead we could just surrender to the vastness of the ocean. Buddhists call Buddha nature, and Christians call God, and Hindus call Brahma, and Jews call Adonai or Hashem in the place of a sacred name which can never be pronounced. I pay homage to it, but I am also it, without a real also. So I say this is all words, whether poetry, philosophy, or theology, so we must forget the words. They have outdone themselves in deceiving us, and far from guiding us have often limited us, no matter how largely we fancied we thought. I myself have had that experience, and in no way do you comprehend it by reading or hearing anything that I just said. Unless you apprehend that sense which finite illusions, i.e. diction, correspond to. And addiction to diction fills up the many books in the world, and they overflow. As in ego, the scholastics deconstruct their ego. And everything in text beckons for us to go and search ourselves, because our hearts never truly told us the truth was ever locked up in a wholly dead book, or even contained by our certain opinions at a certain time. For they rise and fall like the countries over space and time. But into that spaceless space in which space and time exist, from whence the rising and falling comes, beneath the waves, pushed by forces beyond our own, and yet we are in there with the phenomena. And isn't it quite phenomenal that we think we are something else, as if the ultimate I could ever have more than one self, and thereby in that oneness be not one at all, for there is not one more to count by. One, when monotheism becomes pantheism. But if there is nothing else, there is no designation whereby to make it distinct. Hereby, semantic atheism enters the discussion with Spinoza's nature deity. So in reaction to this diagnosis, we realize that we have a step in truth and we have a step in lies. And what belies all this is nothing that we realize, nothing really. For we already knew in the depths of our oceanic psyche that though thoughts and history divide me, I am undivided, interwoven to the fabric, whether seemly or unseemly. The unraveling of the cosmos can just exist sometimes throughout the day, during a sunset or a sunrise epiphany, till with you, all of these kick the buckets. Another wave waned into the sea, still one with all parts in the ecosystem, with thoughts as the point of view of the drop of the ocean, and concepts the point of view of the wave. But truth lies beyond all these things, and being that small part that we are, where else would we see what is whole but within ourselves? On a lifetime pilgrimage which ends with the whole wide universe being our inescapable, not always comfortable, but redeemingly beautiful home. No matter how many human truths are truly true to more than merely humans, sometimes we all may think too much.
Oh.
I think too much too. But I think that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hell is that? I expect more. Anyway, we have another contestant to come up. Come on to the stage, Kit Chill. I summon thee.
All right.
Yeah.
Good evening. What a resource this is. I'm so glad it's here so I can come work on the new poem I wrote on Sunday. That's right. The folio this week reads, Art. Art is not like anything else. It is not like this. It is not like that. It is not this, not that. Never, nothing, not, no, how, ever, ever, that. Never that, ever. Art is art. A separate reality. Its own thing. To be all and end all, the peak, the summit, the flyaway, here now gone. Then again, the blues, the blues, the blues. Art is art. For Christ's sakes, don't you get it? It is itself the evolution of the consciousness of the DNA, which compels us to make it worthy of art, worthy of the indebted burden of the centuries, come to fruition in the I, you, us, now, here, quiet, listen. The us is humming right now.
Ooh, beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you. Mo, come on up.
Go! Go!
Come on up, Mo. Come on, give it up for Mo.
So funny because I have a major fluff poem. It's really hard to read after.
Quiet down.
Hey, hey,
Whoa!
this is a tough audience. Okay. Cataracts. The doctor says, I have cataracts. I aged 10 years in the moment it takes to hear it. I refuse to accept it. I protest. I disagree. I pout. I express the 5 stages of grief. I'm too young. No, you're not, he says. And I sense he enjoys the sound of this because in his egotistical youth, he has no cataracts. I dislike him and his self-satisfied perfect vision, which he hasn't lived long enough to earn or claim as some sort of triumph. Good news, oh boy, I'll probably see better when they're removed. As if I'm being coaxed with treats to the opposite end of a foggy tunnel where the ancients roam, I suppose. I close my traitorous eyes and take a deep plunge into recollection. Old people do this often, I am told. I search for a foothold. I am maudlin and stubborn, regretting all those opportunities I missed, enjoying and squandering the expenditures of my youth. Now my long life can be summed up as if it were one big milky cataract, cloudy from constant straining, peripheral vision weakened and lessened through disuse or abuse. Who can say the wisdom of age is failing me today? Whether brilliantly illuminated or pitch black, and I have journeyed both ways, the paths I've traveled, now viewed in hindsight, sting and blur and are equal in the difficulty of reverse navigation. My eyes water from the effort of revisiting them. It is exhausting to grow older and harder still to lose the clarity of youth. For certain, tomorrow I'll remember the silliness of this response and cringe. But today, I relish my childhood tantrum. I am not one bit happy to be told I have cataracts. So there.
I feel for you. The other day, I was walking down the street, got hit in the eye by a fucking tree. It hurt. Anyway, Colin, come on up. Come on up.
Good evening. This body of work is called Music of God, 50 Songs for the Renaissance. That's G-O-D-D. It's the space in between, yeah. God. So this poem is a quote from a good friend of mine named Stevie Pimblock. It's really pertinent to how I feel about this space tonight. People on meth don't have this much fun.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Renaissance. Welcome. We all made it.
Awesome.
Fruit bats winged rapidity in a sigh of old trees on the cusp of morning when Ogle bade me weep in scarves of foothill fog. There is a sacred parchment oil painting hidden in each of us. It's hidden. Time to find your hidden inner paintings and become your child. She remembers. My paintings are violet typhoons of oleander blooming in my head skies, over derelict houses towering with a few folks' foot tracks. Damselfly drops by, dips her head in flower water, is quenched, is drenched. Marijuana lets me hallucinate God. I've become light as damselfly, a beam of watery flesh of God, call it a creek, calling this creek the blood of loving kindness. Sapphire sun turns my eyes orange, brain soothed in emerald smoke, tongue greased with 10,000 prayers for the empty nests and the gratitude of daylily sun puddles. I am resilient fruit trees of verbiage, soil and roots of my idea boots to be carried away from violent reach of electrostatic pocket compute to rise further upstream like salmon up the Columbia, follow the cold toward the colder, back into the source of life, vortex of no time. Sleep easy in backwoods on a blanket of God earth, a place to gather in the floodplains before the floods, paint the jawbone of the delta, sing with wooden voices from perspective heights, parents adorning their children as teachers, children leading their parents back into the childhoods they were stole of. It's a clear tone, a high tower. Remember your soul child, she dances inside the cage. Burn the cage. Yoga burns the page. Posey burns the cage. Human touch burns the cage with barefoot on ancient forest soil. Walk until barely a sound, then bury your crown. My experience of unrestrained creativity is a waterfall of faith on a path that was at first a belief of the bone. Stone that withered in tyrant coastal rain surges slowly became sand. It was blown free when chrome-plated eyelids rose up and off the prism eyes. Earth reimagines herself in my fleshy electric jaw. Birch trees give their papyrus skin, crinkling backbones of eggshell, back to the earth. Cockrat screech of turkey vulture amid the clouds, the same tragedy plays ad nauseum. But clouds are God's song that connect the stanzas of life. We are here, dig? We are human, and a person is an event, not a thing, a naught, a dandelion seeds blown onto soil yet uncultivated by human hands still growing. And the mountains are cathedrals in the Goth.
Oh, one more. About 2 minutes.
For a lover. Oh, her iris. Coiled spires of lavender and rose spin around the inhalations of the pupil. Brilliant yet easy resonation. A vacuum filled slowly. Pupil pit of dark reeling hollow cornea of white azalea. Betwixt the lane and lure of mellow orange with rare blooms of jasmine where each petal of the bloom yawns. Like cumulo tufts of apricot over groves of dandelion bleached moss. Cloudwork of Apollo bedecked with a scattered pinch of black peppercorn. Throughout the breadth of this, molten crimson spirals and swaths into golden honeydews, and these echoes spill like magma over her brow. Yes, and I will know what it is to burn.
Whoa. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. All right, we have a newcomer tonight. So let's give him a warm welcome. Come on up to the stage, Will. Warm, loving welcome. All right, trying to
This is actually a song, but I'm gonna just read it as a poem.
Yeah.
Visual lines creating physical manifestations of the mystical minds, finding peace inside. This music can release you from the prison in your brain if you use it and choose it to smile at your haters through the rain. It's amazing to me to see every day people are so caught up in their own shit that they forget what it means to be alive today. It's okay. I can't really say I blame you. I just think that it's a shame you can't see through the things that were chosen for you to placate you, enslave you, gave you your sense of safety and security. It's plain to see the inaction of authority. There's more to see and live and breathe. Conceive of a future where we all love each other. Brothers and sisters coming together no matter the weather. Whether you're a grindcore, gutter punk, or hippie kid, get down with it and love the force, of course, that keeps you on the floors. The insane have been rebranded. You have to feel the pain to understand it, to demand it. Candid pictures of the planet, random panda, panoramic view can be the view you choose. Once you lose the bullshit that's attached to you, you are an incredible human being, an amazing living thing with beautiful feelings. Let your light shine and let your voice ring, laugh and sing and dance and feel the spirit of this moment, because when it's gone, it will be just about how you lived it. I hope you're getting down with this vibe that I'm grooving. Keep your mind irie and keep your body moving. To say I am a god is a mortal sin. To actually believe it is an immortal win. I'm just so fucking happy to be alive. It's true. I just hope that you are too.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, I'm curious to hear what that would sound like as a song.
Yeah, I want to hear the song.
All right,
Becky, come on up here.
come on. A warm welcome to Becky. Some love.
So I grew up in a real Christian atmosphere and went to school, Lutheran school. This is a short poem, but this is my response to people that are trying to convert me to Christianity.
Come on, preacher.
Tell me what I'm supposed to believe. Get me drunk in a Jesus-induced coma. Praise God Almighty, nothing else matters. Tell me who I'm supposed to be. It's okay. Tell me lies you yourself believe. You can relieve yourself of these duties. You want me to get closer to God. If you want, I can fuck the Pope hard so that the heavens would feel it. It's the same as when you give yourself to the church and they profit from it. Tell me who I'm supposed to be, living free in a psychopathic society. I don't have to prove myself to you, it doesn't matter. When you tell me who I'm supposed to be, your logic fits in a box. It is carried away and discarded. Maybe I'll recycle it like you recycled God. To make you feel justified in your world. My world may not be so righteous, but more true to being human.
It's all righteous in my eyes.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Woo! Yeah.
All right. All right. Gabriel, come on up to the stage. Come on up. Oh, you guys did a tough work tonight. Oh, I'm loving it. Loving it.
Good evening. Yes. Okay. So first and foremost, I would like to say, cops get a bad rep, for sure. I can see that they've done some things. I saw a cop today in an undercover cop car give a homeless guy a $5 bill. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
That doesn't undo the other things they do, but I'm just saying cops also give homeless guys money sometimes. Just throwing that out there.
Motion beans. Also,
That guy's pretty rich.
stop killing people. Cops, please. The cave. If you walk into the cave of my mind, you'll find yourself greeted by a massive phallic altar, littered with cigarette butts, beer cans, and rap lyrics, mala beads, incense, and fresh fruit. On the walls, images of movie stars intermingle with cave paintings of buffalo hunts. And pictures of lost lovers' faces share space with corporate logos. Scattering the ground are various garments, each with different hues and patterns. Dreamy blues, rich purples, and smoldering browns. The archetypic apparel of my multiple personalities. In this place where the formations of my mental mantras inform the physical feng shui of my psyche, you'll see a tree growing out of the floor in the center of it all. With fresh, fleshy, succulent emerald limbs, in front of the sacred tree, a woman sits nude in lotus position, chanting her respects aloud. She is absolutely radiant. She wears a necklace of bones and a wreath of dandelions. All of the animals of the cave gather around her: chickens, goats and pigs, turtles and frogs, spiders and serpents, butterflies, apes and ravens, earthworms and octopi, cats and canines. Behind her, in the corner of the cave, there is a great fire, burning brightly and smoking gently. An old hermit and a young child sit on the dirt floor, each one of them holding a sheepskin drum. They play together in unison, reminding one another to stay on time. As the rhythm gets louder, the woman's chants turn to moans, and as the 1,000 tiny suns in her womb begin to churn, she weeps. She howls. She sweats. She bucks. She writhes and convulses. And as she breathes deeply into the ecstatic pain of it all, she finds stillness. The rhythm wanes. The waves settle. Contractions subside. And there is peace. The closest thing I will probably ever do to giving three is getting on this stage. So, how am I doing on time?
We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay, I'll do a little guy. Oh man, time. Fuck. Okay. So, 4:44 a.m. German chocolate cake and the echoes of flesh. The gorgeous celestial mindfuck that is life And today I became a part of the grand mosaic. And today I roll cigarettes to meditate on smoke. And last night I heard a poet that made me cry, not because his poetry was witty, but because he was real. And I hugged a couple strangers, and the sun held me like a warm blanket, which I dissolved in. The inhibitions and shoulds of the world cannot touch me here. And the devil has always been lurking, but today his misery is lonesome because I know Grace. I call her by a million names, most of them feminine, and the dawn doesn't concern me. And my sleep is internal, my rest is my own, my sublime supernova is the cadence of my thoughts. And the soft moans are gentle. And the ladybug and the earthworm I saw today reminded me of something that words cannot express. Sort of like death. And it smells so luscious, and I feel like I could just keep coming out of myself and into myself, and the anger was righteous.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
The anger was
That was awesome. That was really good. Well done. Thanks for coming back. All right, let's give it up. And let's give it up for Emily.
Yeah.
Old school coming back.
All right. The advertisements would go something like this. This cruise is brought to you by the norovirus. Join us and enjoy all the food you can eat while your host is stuck in their cabin bathroom. This staycation is brought to you by bad ethnic food poisoning. Enjoy the relaxing atmosphere of your own home and TV all day. This trip to Hawaii is brought to you by the airline's own upper respiratory viral infection. Enjoy the island sun and all the hotel accommodations. Have several months of vacation saved? Pick a longer trip sponsored by cancer, kidney disease, or rare genetic disorder number 342. Sometimes when I'm sick, I like to think about my health, being out there somewhere, an actual being just off on some luxurious vacation, enjoying their much-deserved time off, jumping from hundreds of years, jumping from body to body, keeping illness at bay. Enjoying my cruise, trip, or weekend. It makes me feel better to imagine my suffering with a purpose. Time. She says to me, you have plenty of time. Time? Huh. If I had plenty of time, I wouldn't be here waiting for my appointment. I wouldn't need therapy. I would be using my plenty of time to work, to shop, to cook healthy meals, to exercise, to socialize, to write poetry, to create art, to take a vacation. No, time is not something I have plenty of. Time is precious, a resource to be carefully allocated, meticulously planned, divided in advance, scheduled towards activity and sleep. So much sleep. Partitioned out so that I can meet the bare minimum for survival of my body and mind, if only I had plenty of time. May have been done, but I was busy. Right. Because I know you too well, you do not get to say that it's not mutual, because you feel you won't make me happy. You do not get to tell me this right on the heels of saying I am unobtainium, the best that cannot be had, which, as an aside, I will take as the best compliment I have ever been given. You do not get to tell me this right after we've rocked each other's bodies and mutually said, you feel so good. You do not get to tell me this and then pull me as physically close as possible appreciating. Actions speak louder than words. I am the one who gets to decide if you make me happy. Instead, you get to tell me your truth. Is it fear that I know you too well and that I have the power to hurt you? That because of your fucked up childhood, your instinct is to run far, far away? Is it confusion because you've never felt unconditional love, because everyone close to you has always hurt you? Whatever it may be, own your truth, your feelings, whatever they are. Express them. Give us a chance to work towards a solution before you walk away, assuming what I feel.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. All right. This is Maddie's first time on this stage, so let's give her some love. Lots of love.
Thank you. This one's special because I wrote it here in the garden. Yay! It doesn't have a title though, so here we go. Blossoms of happiness explode from my ribcage in forms of butterflies. I can't feel my cheeks because I've been smiling for 6 days straight. My mind is empty, but my heart is full. Full of deep blue salted waves. They travel calmly to the sandy shore. The butterflies are multiplying in the sky, crowding the vision of the seekers, confusing their minds, seizing their smiles. They run backwards in time. They change their minds. Goodbye. No longer butterflies, just darkness in the sky tonight. My eyes feel empty. They no longer smile. The gray clouds float on by. Where am I? I can't find myself inside. I can't see myself on the outside. I feel so heavy, drowning. No longer breathing, I find myself surrounded by smoke and green, rays of orange shining upon me. My heart is beating harder now. I am floating. My shoulders feel so light. Breathe me in, consume me, tingles down my spine. Lay me down. Let's quietly fall asleep now. The moon is whole. There's a smile across your face. My heart has never felt so bold.
All right. Oh, I hope you read again sometime. Yeah. All right. It's that time of the night. We got 2 poets left. One of them is Jacob.
All right.
Course. Hear this grand assignment based on eco-spirituality, activism through the 17th chapter of Genes, of the ecology, each genusly in the naturalist Barry Lopez into articles in the awakening to the universe story of the definition of the cosmos. Tell your dad, charging Barry's nuts, and map yes breeze lock. Gone borrowing from Thoreau to see here is the grand assignment based on eco-spirituality activism through the 17th chapter of Kings on the ecology each genusly in The Naturalist by Barry Lopez into articles in the awakening cap 3 to the universe story. The definition of the cosmos tells your dad a Chardon. Barry's nuts, any map, yes magazines, yes magazine together with the earth. Revolution into 3 of 4 ideas of keys. Keys on each idea come from different chapter or article. To conscious choice, to the road live simple. On life, live simple. Onto critical with naked. And local pond throw would never wonder the fields and row the quoted throw found the necessary to keep touch with extended, conversely alienated. Alliance superflight is sustained, very muskrat fully. Cloud through enters the woodlands on then he compares himself. Mick Sally phage, brolic, volemic at Thomas Berry on the process, but it also provided a problem on infest, on indirect support for this process, particularly tragic in Western spiritual traditions that tend to focus on a human being. Why don't you necessarily increase there's necessarily neither fifth stick of human destiny on center cultivating intrinsic identity? It's the chosen, must come from different chapter or article, must be home, tend to downplay, tends to downplay. This is dangerous, tends to downplay. This is dangerous. Theologies we have traditional in the earth of many, so seriously threatened, is a crazy on not to, it's not that, it's not it, Ted did models, did talk, whoa, buck, bowl, knuckles, buckled, tended to downplay, tends to downplay. This is dangerous, tends to downplay. This is dangerous. Theologies we have traditional in the earth of many, so seriously threatened, is a crazy on to not it, it's not that, not it's it, not Ted did models, did talk, keep on trying to read loop on originator. It has sources to be relayed that resolves its sources, relays its embeddedness in nature of clips, kinship of embeddedness, position, and encourages intensivity, and absolutely crucial to determine and our rights of their natures. One of the principal. Boozer, singer, keeps on trying to read loop it on originator. It has sources to be relayed that resolves its sources, relays its embeddedness in nature of clips, kinship on embeddedness, position, and encourages insensitivity, and absolutely crucial to determine and our rights of their natures. One of the principal. I just shit my pants. We got vision on the part. Cool visionaries, contemporary discussion of only become harmful, only becomes harmful. One book, chin central pointed in what you call socially examine the social causes and remedy mikra in problems, and to found in crop in most dangerous animal, and the consisted simply have a mirror. Pictoshin remembers the school to exploit boozer. Enhancing nature, we got go vision on part of the cool visionaries, contemporary discussion of only becomes harmful. One book, chin central, point in what you call socially examine as social causes and remedy mikra in problems are to be found in crop in most dangerous animal. On the consisted simply to have a mirror, pictokin, remembers the school. Celebratory goes down and spots the road, can't be to another bike road, from the spokes on the spots on the road, from the beams on the roof of my wrist, on my anal, on in it kinny, so much kinny, zuki, nuki, mika, kishi, ona, wagashi, washi, tafarai, overdosai, voss, differenzi, you moxie pill in my pill, moxie on your moxie pills, and pill and bill and Mike and Sillin on Phil. I'm still at quills on my gnostic to trust, and panter on par and loop in deerlope, in beer loop. Yon, yacht. Everybody now. Click, Nick, shit, click. You moxie pill in my pill, moxie's in your pill, and so moxie's pill, and Bill, and Mike, and Sill on Phil. I'm in my quills on my gnostic, on trust, a panther, on par to loop, and deerlope, and beer. Loop, I kissed up on neuristic, on knock, bok, kika, kid, GGG, plick, mirroring, noppelcopter, bostagual kiln, covered in soot. Me cover wash into T-holds, it exits, setting on rubber, roof 63, on Calvert covered. It doesn't, it is Yahtzee on Yahtzee. Cities that on Yahtzee, pretty, yeah, it's on exits, Chrysia, on Bozic, on So I Was Riding on a Pegasus into,
Fascinating. That was fantastic. Oh man. I don't care. I feel like if more things in like regular media were that interesting. Like seriously, like I don't know. I would watch movies that you would like.
Not the shipping going down there.
That was fantastic. But it seems we are at the end. We have made it to the end. Oh. Uh-oh, my time's up.
Yes.
Anyway,
Gotta go.
our house improvisist, who's the master at that.
Yes.
Karen. Karen.
I'd like to make a disclaimer or an apology for my behavior. I'm going through incredible things right now. In a few short days, it will be an anniversary of my mother's death 4 years ago. A man that was supposed to have been evicted today has had a reprieve from senior and disabled services for the next 3 months, and he lives a couple of doors from me in my apartment building. This man violated me sexually when I was asleep or I passed out 6.5 years ago. So I'm going through a lot of changes right now. And I apologize for taking it out on my friends here. James, especially tonight.
You are forgiven.
Well, thank you. I'm living on very precarious grounds right now in my life. I can be evicted very easily if I should have an episode. I could be on the street, and although I have friends who will support me, I'm not expecting anyone to take me to my home, and I'm not actually wanting that, actually not. I like my home. I live in a very wonderful place. The building's all right, but my home is beautiful. It's part of the scenic background of the film that my friend Jeremy Cook and I made, and that was finished a few months ago. Anyway, I want to see if I can write a poem in midair because I am kind of upset. And I also apologize to Josh. I'm not plugging in because, as he pointed out, I don't play that well yet. But that's all right. It's true. I don't play that well yet. But anyway, let's see what comes out. In despair's soft-spoken forest, where the light intervenes with the trees in my eyes, I walk the constant steps of change that is disordered at my feet, like the rocks that do not stay and the leaves on the ground that are dust. When I am here, I stand apart from you. Why I'm not you, I do not know, but yet I do know that I am you. I'm every existential thing that exists. I'm everything that does not exist. And I do not exist. I am not here. And I am not saying that you are dreaming of me right now. For I am that dream that you are dreaming of me dreaming you. And if this were not the case, if the snake were not hidden in the closet, that snake that gathers dust and the black mold that crouches around the barriers of that important reef, that closet that I called my own, that closet that was my very home. And even though I may have roamed beyond the edges of the doorway, I may have slipped like shadow or light between the cracks, that the veritable cockroaches ran from my sight, when I opened my eyes and I blinked of death. The dream that I have carried is far too heavy, and yet is lighter than the air I breathe. If I am breathing at all, I do not know. There is a mechanism, and it swallows myself every time that I think or speak. I am rendered into the void of crayon coloring books. I draw outside the lines, and I never keep in step with hopscotch. I am actually a child, and I refuse to grow old. I am never, ever going to grow old. I will fight that to my death. And I grow younger every day. Old age, they say, is for sissies. Well, those pussy whips. Those pussy whips can do what they like. Because I don't care. I make my whipped cream out of canned coconut cream and water. And I drink it with a little bit of sugar. And I tell you it is good for me because I know I am not eating animals. I am not drinking the pus-filled milk. I am not stealing the babies to slaughter. I am not inventing things to murder and to kill other equal beings. Therefore, I must, in some ways, be a saint. I paint myself as black as the most insidious night. And my poetry writes the brilliant silver tones of madness deemed in deep shades of silver. But I do know this. As I walk this space of this closet of time, on my belly as a serpentine serpent, the crystalline serpent rather, the crystalline serpent that twines around your finger, dances and spins in the sky, descends to the earth like a teardrop of red light, and then disappears. Thank you.
And thank you. Hold on. That was a close one. There we go. Oh, wow. See, that takes a lot of work, a lot of talent to do that every week. It takes a lot of work and talent for any of you to do this every week. And thank you all for coming to Phase 2 Poetry at Cush Cafe.
Thank you, James.
Same time next week.
It's a day.
I'll see you later. Hopefully next week. Bring some homies because this place kicks ass and there's no other place like it.
That's what I do. I'm a grown man. I can handle this shit.